Good afternoon. Today is Wednesday, August 5th, and this is the County of Monterey's weekly news briefing. I'm Nick Pasculi, County Communications Director. Let me start by saying we have a packed agenda today, but first I'd like to thank Maite and Naya, our producer, for helping us with this live broadcast. I also want to thank Maya Carroll, who retired last Wednesday, and for her leadership in starting this briefing several years ago. That tradition continues to this day. Our lineup today includes Highway 1 at Bixby Bridge update, Monterey Car Week safety information update, Monterey Car Week pest and do not pack a pest by our Ag Commissioner's office, as well as Monterey Car Week impact on small businesses. And we'll finish out our briefing today by a refresher on the tools that have been developed by the County of Monterey for Car Week. But without further ado, because of a pressing situation, I would like to welcome Commander Andy Rosas to our briefing today. Welcome, Andy, to our briefing.
Hey, good afternoon, Nick, and thank you. And I also want to acknowledge Maya for her years of service to the County of Monterey, and all that she's done to help get the word out on all the situations that have happened over the years. So thank you, Maya, and congratulations on her retirement. Nick, as you're mentioning, the car week is upon us. It's gotten here. It's arrived quickly. It seems like the last one just passed, and here we are again. And we want to spread some general safety and situational awareness type information to the community as it relates to Car Week. These are annual reminders. I know that they'll sound familiar from previous years, but they're very important to maintain safety around the county as people from around the world visit our beautiful county. So, of course, we're talking about one of the premier automotive events in the world, and we have to remember that Car Week is not one single event. There are multiple events that are taking place throughout Monterey County, and not just in the unincorporated areas of Monterey County, but in many of the cities in Monterey County. And we have to remind the public that every single area has its own set of rules. So you have to remember that what may apply in the county area may not apply in a city, and vice versa. What applies in a particular city may not necessarily apply in the county area. But general safety and common sense is really what we're asking everybody to apply to maintain public safety and remind everybody that it's a shared responsibility. So we're going to talk about the general things. We're always going to ask people to slow down and drive defensively because you have people here from around the world. There's basic stuff. We know that in some countries they drive on the other side of the road. Those people are now driving here in California, and they're not used to the way that people and traffic move. So you've got some people that are foreign to the way that we do things here in California. And so you may have somebody that just has a moment and is doing something that's inappropriate on the road, and you have to drive defensively and be prepared to react to something like that. Everyone needs to stay focused on driving and avoid distractions, especially the use of cell phones. We will have a lot of pedestrians. There will be highly congested areas throughout Monterey County and our local cities with pedestrians, bicyclists, and just spontaneous traffic coming out of any which way. And you have to be prepared to react to that. That means stay off your cell phone and focus your eyes on the road. We ask people to be courteous. It can be just a distraction in and of itself for somebody to go, what is that person doing? But be patient. Again, that may be somebody that's not from our area, is not used to driving in our area. They may be lost, and we need to be patient with these visitors that we have. And one of the other things that we always ask for basic traffic safety when you're driving, maintain a safe following distance. Don't tailgate the car in front of you. Don't react. You're going to see cars. You're going to see people, unfortunately, doing things that are not safe and are not legal on our roadways. One of those is speeding. We can never suggest anything better than just get out of the way. Don't try to keep up with the car. Don't speed up to get out of their way. Just slow down and move off to the side. Let somebody go by. Let that threat to your safety go by and continue on their way. So again, be aware of these very basic situations. We will also remind people that when you come to an event, make sure that you're protecting your belongings. So as a sheriff's office in our local police department, unfortunately, every year we have to take theft reports. Someone will leave a backpack that's visible on their back seat, and unfortunately, somebody will break a window and take their belongings. make sure that you're not leaving anything visible in your car. No matter where you go, it doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. These types of crimes do occur, and they do occur in the county of Monterey and our surrounding cities as well. So make sure you're hiding your belongings, secure them in a trunk, put them under a seat, somewhere where they're not visible, and become an easy target for our bad people out there to take advantage of. We can't stress enough that if you are in our county or any of our cities and you see something that this it just doesn't look right, we need you to say something. Our 911 system here in Monterey County is amazing. Our dispatchers are amazing, and they will not function the way they're supposed to function if you don't call them to report something that's going on. Situational awareness is key here. If you see something that doesn't look right, you need to pick up your cell phone or get to the nearest phone and call 911 and report what you're seeing. Even if you think, it's not that big a deal or it doesn't look like that big a deal, it may be bigger than what you actually think it is. And it doesn't hurt to report what you're seeing so that we can get another set of eyes out there to check out what it is that you're seeing and make sure that it is or isn't a safety concern. So we cannot stress enough, anybody coming to Monterey County and even our local people, if something doesn't look right or it looks unsafe, please call 911 immediately to report that. I do want to touch up on one other thing, Nick, and that is that this year's main Car Week events, which are the Quail at Quail Lodge, the Rolex Reunion at Laguna Seca, and the Concours d'Elegance at Pebble Beach, will have a temporary flight restriction in place. Now, this temporary flight restriction applies to drone usage. It's very important. We know that the drones have become very popular, and we have people that fly drones recreationally. However, we need to get the word out, not just to our local population, but all of the visitors coming to Monterey County for Car Week, that this federal temporary flight restriction will be in place during the main event days. So we're talking about Friday, the Quail Lodge event, Saturday, Rolex Reunion at Laguna Seca, and then the grand finale, the Concours d'Elegance at Pebble Beach. That will be the final day of August 16th. Temporary flight restriction, which prohibits all drone usage within a 2 mile radius of the events that I just mentioned. What does that mean? The Monterey County Sheriff's Office works these three events specifically, and we have teamed up with our local, state, and regional and federal partners to do drone detection. We're basically going to be looking for any unlawful drones that are being flown in these areas. What we are telling the public is that if you launch a drone, a recreational drone, you will be contacted by federal agents and our partners, and you are looking at a federal crime, a federal violation. Uh, these temporary flight restrictions are put in place for the general safety of the public. We also have some aircraft that are going to be flying over some of these events. We know Quail Lodge has a precision jet team that performs each year. That will be happening again this year. Laguna Seca is in the flight path of the Monterey Peninsula Airport, and we have spontaneous helicopter traffic that comes in and out of that area. And additionally, we have vehicles that are traveling on the track. The last thing we want is a drone to come down on the track and cause an accident there. And then in Pebble Beach, we've had incidents as well in the past. It's just a high concentration of people in a small area, very expensive cars and people. We don't want there to be a drone incident where somebody gets hurt. So this is taking effect this year. Again, the 14th, 15th, and 16th, the 14th at Quail Lodge from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., the 15th at Laguna Seca from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., and the 16th at Pebble Beach from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., a 2 mile radius with a zero tolerance for drone flight. And we will have teams in place to contact people that are flying their drones in these areas. So you're looking at pretty stiff fines and a federal violation if you are contacted and caught flying a drone during these time periods. So we can't stress it enough. Do not fly your drones in these areas during those dates and times. And with that, we're hoping that everybody has a safe and enjoyable car week. We look forward to another safe and enjoyable year, and thank everybody for their attention today.
Well, thank you so much, Commander Rosas, for your report on Car Week and all the activities. I know it's going to be a busy week for the Monterey County Sheriff's Office and all your law enforcement and first responder partners throughout the county and throughout the region. I know you have to run off to an incident, so we'll let you go and thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
All right, great. And next, I'd like to introduce Randy Ishii, who's the director of the County of Monterey Public Works, Facilities, and Parks. And Randy and his team have been working diligently with a number of agencies, including Caltrans, to get no parking signs installed in advance of Car Week along Highway 68. And Randy, as I'm introducing you, I'm just going to share my screen for folks as a reminder of the problems that we have been faced with in and around Bixby Bridge. And go ahead, Randy, and give us your latest update.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, Nick and members of the public. The department is bringing forward our latest status update on this developing safety project that the county is engaged on for a no parking zone on the Caltrans owned and maintained facility known as State Route 1 or State Highway 1 or Highway 1. Highway 1, as many of us know, is a north-south running highway along the coastline that generates these beautiful views of the coast and the ocean itself. In particular, these views are very prominent in the Big Sur region. However, as shown in the previous slide and picture that Director Pasculi had brought up, there are several occasions, if not many occasions, where motorists come to see these iconic views and they will errantly park however fashion they choose, causing not only traffic congestion, but safety concerns. One of those main safety concerns is that now that the highway there is so blocked with vehicles, other first responders, such as ambulance services or law enforcement, cannot get to an incident that may be occurring somewhere along the coastline where someone may be in peril, slowing the response time to that individual. Recognizing these ongoing safety concerns and seeing that an immediate action should be taken to address these ongoing safety concerns, Supervisor Kate Daniels brought forward the initial response for the board to consider a temporary no parking zone in and around the Bixby Bridge portion of State Route 1 / State Highway 1 / Highway 1, owned and operated by Caltrans. Earlier this calendar year, county staff had worked with other partner agencies to develop a plan for addressing this. And I'm going to share my screen to provide some brief photos and additional information for the conversation today about the update.
Great. Thanks, Randy.
And so as mentioned, the process started earlier this year with the county passing an ordinance that created a no parking zone in and around the Bixby Bridge on Caltrans's Highway 1. That ordinance required 2 readings, meaning it had to go before the board at 2 different successive board meetings. And then there's a required statutory period of 30 days before that ordinance can take effect. At the same time, on a parallel track, the county pursued the various regulatory permits that were necessary in order to place the signage and effectuate the ordinance. One of those approvals occurred last week through Caltrans, and Caltrans granted the permit for placing the no parking signage along these limits of Highway 1 to be a no parking zone. This exhibit shows those approximate limits. And so approximately speaking, the new no parking zone starts approximately 900 feet north of the Bixby Bridge and continues south to approximately 700 feet south of the Bixby Bridge. That's represented by this clouded area as shown on this location map, which shows Caltrans's Highway 1 and the nearby county road of Coast Road that takes access off of Highway 1. So again, the zone starts 900 feet north of the Bixby Bridge and continues 700 feet south of the Bixby Bridge. After receiving that permit approval from Caltrans last week, our county traffic sign shop staff immediately began implementation of the signage so that way law enforcement can enforce the no parking zone. We were just informed that the traffic sign shop completed the installation of the no parking signage yesterday for August 26. Law enforcement partners, including the Cal Fire Patrol, have been informed of this, and so now their officers can enforce this no parking zone. These next two slides show some of the pictures showing what the public should anticipate seeing and expect to see when they go out to this portion of State Highway 1. And these are some views looking from the north side of the Bixby Bridge, looking to the south. And so motorists can expect to see some no parking signage like the one here in the left-hand side picture, as well as this one that they see in the right-hand side picture nearby the north abutment of the bridge. And this also continues on the south side. And so here in that 700 feet south of the Bixby Bridge, these are some pictures of the no parking signage that's out there for the public to observe and to obey. Again, with the signage that's now installed, the law enforcement partners are able to enforce on this no parking zone and thereby create a safer experience for those who want to travel this part of State Highway 1. With that all in mind, that and this entire no parking zone is a 12-month pilot, if you will. It's a temporary no parking zone. Here again, you cannot park at any time in the zone, and the zone will take effect for the next 12 months. So we want the public to respect and obey the signage and make for an enjoyable, safe experience for everyone who frequents or uses this part of Highway 1. And that concludes staff's presentation, and we'll open it back up to the floor. I'll hand the floor back to you.
Thank you very much, Randy. And I know that you also have a pressing meeting that you have to get to today, but we'll see if there's any questions that come up on this topic. Of course, the news media has been very helpful in getting the word out about this, and we certainly appreciate that. But certainly, the picture that I showed earlier is just one example of the challenges that we've had faced with that section of road. And so public safety is critically important. And I remember so poignantly hearing from California Highway Patrol and a firefighter saying that, they get very concerned when they can't even get through that part of the road because of the traffic situation. And this hopefully will alleviate that.
That is our hope, and we will be analyzing the results over these next 12 months.
And of course, I know a lot of people are grateful to the Public Works team, and especially in the sign shop, and those that were out on the highway installing those signs yesterday ahead of schedule, which is fantastic. And so, thank you, Randy, to your team, and to you for your leadership of the department.
Well, thank you very much, Nick.
All right, thank you so much. Sorry, I promised you I'd get you out on time, and I did. So, all right, great. All right, so we're going to shift gears a little bit. Equally as important to traffic safety is safety to our environment and safety to the agriculture industry here in the county of Monterey. And ironically, you wouldn't think, well, what does the Agriculture Commissioner's Office have to do with Car Week? And quite simply is the Agriculture Commissioner's Office needs to protect the ag industry, and especially invasive pests that could be brought in. So with us today, we have Richard Ordonez, who is the Assistant Agricultural Commissioner for the County of Monterey Ag Commissioner's Office. Richard, good afternoon and welcome to the briefing.
Well, good afternoon, Nick, and good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, agricultural, the agricultural industry is our #1 industry here in the county. And, we know that Car Week brings in thousands of visitors to the area, and many arrive, with vehicles, trailers, and outdoor gear that can unintentionally carry invasive pests. To reduce that risk, our office is partnering closely with the hospitality industry and Car Week event organizers to ensure we get the message out about invasive pests. We've distributed a dedicated flyer that explains the threats posed by a couple of invasive pests and outlines simple steps everyone can take to help protect Monterey County's environment. Invasive pests aren't just a minor issue. They can cause serious damage to agriculture, forests, native ecosystems, and even residential landscapes. It takes only one insect or a single egg mass to start a new infestation that can have long-term consequences for our county. For Car Week, we're focusing on 2 high-priority invasive pests that are found on the East Coast. because many of our visitors are coming from the East Coast. And those are the spotted lanternfly and spongy moth. Um, oh, perfect. I was going to share the screen, but Mighty has already done that. What we have here is the spotted lanternfly. It's a colorful but a highly destructive pest. This pest threatens agriculture and forestry and has caused millions of dollars of damage in areas where it's been established, especially in vineyards. So you'll see there in the middle photo, you can see the nymph stage, and it has red and white spots with black stripes. So it's a pretty stunning insect. In the right photo is an adult where you can see it has light brown wings and black spots. Um, they disrupt native plant and insect populations by outcompeting them, leading to issues that affect many parts of the ecosystem. Egg masses resemble gray mud-like patches and can be found on vehicles, plants, trailers, firewood, and other outdoor items. As you can see in the photo on the left, you can kind of see there that I think that's a log, and it kind of looks like mud scraped on the side. And next we have the spongy moth, which was formerly known as the gypsy moth. It's an invasive pest that devastates forests and urban landscapes. Its caterpillars feed on the leaves of more than 300 types of trees and shrub species, especially oaks, leading to tree stress and death. Defoliation caused by these caterpillars weakens trees, making them more vulnerable to disease and other pests. They also produce droppings and silk, creating residues in residential areas and natural spaces. Communities across the country, particularly in the East Coast, spend millions of dollars each year on control measures and damage repair. Spongy moth egg masses are tan and fuzzy and sponge-like and can be found in trees, buildings, vehicles, and outdoor items. Very similar to the spongy moth. They're good, very good at hitchhiking. And as you can see there in the left picture on the bottom, that's the fuzzy egg mass of the spongy moth. The middle photo is a caterpillar gypsy moth, and at that stage, they're pretty distinctive because they have those blue and red spots on them. And the photo on the right is an adult where they have brown wings and they have a very feathery or plumed type of antenna. So in 2023, during Car Week, our pest detection team trapped a single adult spongy moth near the village in Carmel Valley. That detection triggered a 2-year delimitation project where we placed traps throughout the area to determine whether the pest had established itself. Fortunately, in those 2 years, no additional spongy moths were found, and we're confident that the pest did not become established. So what we're hoping visitors can do before coming to Car Week is to look before they leave and help prevent the spread of invasive pests. We're asking visitors to inspect and clean their vehicles, trailers, the wheel wells of their vehicles, outdoor gear, and plants to remove insects or egg masses before traveling. They should avoid bringing firewood or plants from outside the area because they may contain hidden eggs or larvae. And if you do find egg mass, scrape them off into a sealed bag filled with alcohol, hand sanitizer, or soapy water. That way it will destroy them. And once visitors arrive to our area, if they do see a spotted lanternfly or spongy moth on their belongings, they should report it to our office immediately. Our telephone number is area code 831-759-7325. So a few minutes of inspection and cleaning can make a huge difference. Community awareness, including residents and visitors, is one of the strongest ways that we can prevent new pest introductions. Um, that's pretty much all I have. I hope everyone enjoys Car Week, and we thank you for helping us protect Monterey County while you're here.
Thanks so much, Richard, for that great report. It's fascinating to me when you think about it, because, a lot of these vehicles that come to Car Week are transported in by trailers. And of course, trailers are often in areas where they're being stored, and they're very easy for pests and other, and not just insects, but rodents and things of that nature that make those trailers their homes or underneath those trailers. So that's an important aspect of this, isn't it? To even check your equipment before you leave your areas.
That's right. Since we trapped that adult in 2023, that's what we suspect. It was maybe in one of those trailers and kind of got out. And then we, luckily, we have that network of traps that we have in the county and trapped that one.
Of course, and of course, these type of pests love to take up residence in tarps and in dark spaces and things of that nature. So it's great that the Ag Commissioner's Office is involved in this. And who would have known that, the vital role that the Ag Commissioner's Office plays in during Car Week. People think about public safety, as Commander Rosas was talking about just a few minutes ago, or traffic, as Randy was talking about, but here's something else. And I like what you say, look before you leave. So we've got a couple of new phrases: see something, say something, from Commander Rosas, and look before you leave from the Ag Commissioner's Office.
Yeah, well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate you getting me time out here and to spread the word.
All right. Well, thank you, Richard, for your time today and being with us. All right. So, obviously, Monterey Car Week is an economic boom for the county, in so many ways. But in particular, I think it probably has a strong impact on the small business community. And here to talk to us about that from the Monterey County Business Council is Jenny McAdams. Welcome, Jenny, to the briefing.
Good afternoon, Nick. Thank you for having me. And congratulations, Maya, on your retirement. Thank you for your many years of service to our communities. So yes, Monterey Car Week is one of the most significant economic events of the year for Monterey County, and particularly for small businesses who are the backbone of our local economies. Car Week provides an important opportunity to our small businesses to increase their revenues, introduce their businesses to new visitors, and also build that repeat customer relationship. So for small businesses, preparation is key. We encourage small businesses to extend hours when appropriate, ensure that their team is ready, promote their products and services through social media prior and during Car Week. And then, of course, provide exceptional customer service. Every visitor is a potential repeat customer, and when they go back home, they are an ambassador to our region. The event also showcases Monterey County as a world-class destination to live, work, and visit, which really create opportunities beyond the week itself. We really appreciate this collaboration between the county jurisdictions, supporting small business, the outreach, also the live mapping tool, the app that the county has. Particularly during Car Week for our workforce, the traffic and maneuvering around the region is definitely a little more, it's just busier than usual, and traffic can definitely have an impact. So we encourage the workforce to give yourself plenty of time as far as employers to just be a little more mindful. We might have some of the workforce showing up late or having challenges with parking and so on and so forth. But overall, just many thanks to our public safety teams, our hospitality workers, and our small businesses who have a real busy time ahead. If Monterey County Business Council can be of service or help your small business, please reach out. Our website is www.mcbc.biz, and our phone number is 831-216-3000. Thank you.
Great, Jenny. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's kind of impressive to me how many small businesses we actually do have in Monterey County. Can you talk about that maybe by way of statistics or percentage, as far as, how many small businesses approximately and what kind of what type of services are they providing and things of that nature?
Sure. So really, as far as Car Week goes, um, there's a lot of small businesses who are service providers, catering, who are perhaps getting ready the short-term rentals or doing like some real personal type of services that are behind the scenes that we don't necessarily see. And then that also expands to in hotel services with childcare or purchasing gifts or welcome baskets for their customers, and so on and so forth. So, as far as data, though, I'm not necessarily prepared with those numbers right now, but I can definitely get back to you and you can share with the team and the media.
Sure, and I think of just that, restaurants, so many of them in our area are family owned and operated, even some of the shops in downtown Carmel or Pacific Grove or Monterey, Marina, Seaside, those areas as well. And there's so many other things too, as you said. So event planners and organizers and things of that nature that really make a real impact, and they're the ones that are also giving back to our community when we're not having this big tourist boom.
That's right. And also, like a bakery who has a brick and mortar is also providing breads and pastries and all of that. I mean, their business is going to ramp up immensely when we have these large visitor serving events. So it's definitely a wonderful trickle down and a nice boost.
Yeah, and I guess the message to the visitors that are coming in the next week or so is, visit some of our local smaller businesses and shop local, as they say. So,
That's right. And tip well.
yeah, and tip well. I love it. Excellent. All right, Jenny. Well, thank you so much for your work at the Monterey County Business Council, and we appreciate you being on the briefing with us today.
Thank you, Nick.
Great. And to close out today's briefing, we're going to do a little refresher with Dina Norcutt from the County of Monterey Housing and Community Development Department. The County of Monterey has developed a great tool for residents and visitors to use to navigate Car Week, and to hopefully make it more efficient getting around the area. And so with us, as I said, is Dina Norcutt. Dina, welcome to the briefing, and let's give a quick little refresher on the tools that have been developed for folks.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Nick. I am unable to start my video. See if I can try it now. I wanted to go ahead and share with you the map. We've had some significant changes since last year, and even since, as Maya used to say, it's evolved over time. So we started MC Car Week in 2018. And basically, it was kind of a way to see what events were happening in the area, if it was permitted or not. A lot of folks were getting calls and things. A lot of offices and supervisors were getting phone calls that said, I don't know what's happening across the street from my house, but there's 1,000 cars or something like that. So we decided to go ahead and we used a tool we already had, which is our GIS mapping tool, and we created the Car Week site. We have gone ahead and added a Car Week overview tab. We've done that for the past few years. So this new platform that we're using, again, it's still GIS. It's very robust. Significant changes, as I mentioned, but a lot of the same things that we had before, which were really great. So we always put the largest events. We have now the QR code in the header up here in the upper right corner. The Car Week overview tab, again, right here, it has links to every one of the events. We also have links to construction and maintenance projects that Randy Ishii spoke about. That's their link to their website that they maintain, as well as the live traffic cams. And what we did this year is different because we wanted it to be able to load a lot faster. So we just put the traffic cams on this very first tab, Car Week Overview, and I'm going to show you how those work in just a moment. One of the things that is very new and cool is we have now direct driving instructions. This is something that I've been asking for, and we finally have it. So no matter where you are in the county, you can click the address and be taken to the event. So it will open whatever you use. And a lot of people use Waze, Google Maps, Apple Maps, etc. We now also have something new that we just added last week, which is a page translation button with options. So basically, whatever your browser is and so on, will give you the options. We have the Caltrans and CHP traffic layers with color-coded traffic conditions. We have our permit center number here on the overview tab, so you can call if you have questions about an event or you want to know permit status. And then we do list if it's not like within the county itself, like if it's in the city. So you could contact the city. Here's the page translation. I mentioned the options here. So Chrome, Edge, etc. And then you would be able to just default to that translation. And then we have the live feed, which is very cool. So you would click on one of the black arrows. It is pointing where the camera is facing. So if you want to see what's happening and you're on your way to Monterey and you're on Highway 68, you would go there, you would get a pop-up menu, you would click view, and then it would open up the window down here, which shows the live traffic. And then we talked about briefly, I mentioned the new address tool that we have. You would just click the address of where the event was going to be held, and then it would open up Google Maps. And what's really cool is, let's say you are in your office or in your house, you want to look up an event, you click the address, it's going to open up on your laptop, but it's also going to ping your phone and open up on your phone or your mobile device. So whatever mobile device you use and whatever tool you use for mapping, that's what it's going to open. And then this is how it looks on a mobile device. So basically, if you're using an iPad or any type of a Galaxy, whatever your mobile device is, we designed it so that the map would stay at the top, and then you would still be able to see traffic, et cetera. And then you would be able to, click on any one of those, sorry, and it would take you to the event. So let's say you want to click on the Quail Rally Day 1. You're going to see the event, all the details of the event, et cetera, and then be able to go to that event. And then I mentioned briefly, let me stop sharing and I want to share the actual live site really quick because this is very cool. And let me see. I wanted you to be able to see how it actually works. So here is the live map. I clicked on that same arrow as before. Click view. There it is. There's your live traffic. So very cool. We're very pleased that everything has turned out the way it did for this. We were a little nervous because they took it down and didn't tell us. So we had to kind of hurry up and repopulate the whole thing in about 3 weeks. But yeah, it's really good. It won a CSAC Challenge Award in 2021, which we're pretty proud of as well.
Great. And also, I think it's important to note the ease of accessing that. So it's not just through the direct website, but they can also download the county's mobile app, which is UConnect Monterey County. And it is on the home page of the UConnect app, right in the top left-hand corner, as well as on the county's homepage of our website. And I'm just going to show that to the folks right now so they can see it real quick. And you see here's the homepage of the county's website. You just scroll down a tiny bit and you see the Car Week Daily Event Tracker, which will take you directly to the site that Dina was just talking about through our website. So there's multiple ways that residents in particular and visitors alike can access this valuable information to help navigating around Car Week easier. And I think it's important to note, Dina, that the primary motivation always is our residents first, to make sure that they have a tool to help them, and then the visitors have the benefit of the tools that we develop for our local community. So Thank you, Dina, for your work
Exactly.
on this, and of course, Housing and Community Development, and your department for all the hard work they have done on this tremendous tool for our residents and our visitors. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
All right. Well, that concludes our briefing today on Wednesday, August 5th, and we look forward to seeing you back here next Wednesday at 12 noon when we'll have another packed briefing with great information for our residents and for those interested in what's going on here in Monterey County. For the County of Monterey and the Communications